Hello, everybody. I am here again. Well, you may have noticed that I have been silent for a couple of weeks, because I made quite a long trip with car, going from where I live in Germany, in the southwest Germany, near the city of Stuttgart, Frankfurt. A long trip to first the German capital, Berlin, but I make also some stop in between, like a city of Weimar, very famous city, and then after Berlin I continue to Poland for different reasons. Private reason, because to attend a wedding party, and also meeting some other friends and people within the business community and the political community. Before I mention more about the trip, I would like to thank you. I see that the number of subscribers and the number of viewers for my channel are slowly increasing. So thank you very much for your support. That's important. The more you view, the more you subscribe, or more people subscribe, the more energy I get, and the more, hopefully, then I get both energy and wisdom from YouTube, so that I can make our channel more interesting. Let me share with you some impression from my trip to Berlin and Poland. When I was on the way to Berlin, we stopped at the city of Weimar. It's a famous city because the famous German poet Goethe spent a lot of his time in Weimar and left a lot of interesting things. And Weimar is actually a city just right in the middle between where I live and Berlin, quite far away. It's about 300 kilometers from my home, and then I have another 300 kilometers to go to Berlin. Berlin being the capital of Germany, and Germany being one of the, if not the most, but at least one of the most important member states of European Union. So it's interesting to meet some friends, to feel how they look at the world today. And so I as usual, I met quite a few friends in different areas. Maybe one interesting thing I should mention is I also met this time the ambassador from Republic of China. Officially, he's the ambassador. Officially, he's actually a representative of Republic China. Some people call him Taiwanese representative. I call him ambassador of Republic of China, not People's Republic of China. There's an ambassador for People's Republic of China in Berlin. This time I never saw him. I have been in the Chinese embassy before, many years ago. So I met also many communist Chinese officials. But I must say, meeting the ambassador from Taiwan or Republic of China, the feeling is so different. Professor Xie is his name. He is such a gentleman, and very knowledgeable. In the same time, you don't see any sign of arrogance. He's very easygoing, and we have a lunch together, and he just talked like a friend, not like he doesn't have the need to mark that he is the ambassador. So, and we have been exchanging opinion about situation of Taiwan, situation of the world, China-Taiwan relationship, China-US relationship. It's very interesting sharing about what is going on in the world. And I must say that we have a lot of view in common. Very, very much in common, very much in consensus. And I understand that, what I'm happy is, from him I understand that Taiwan is pretty well prepared for the threat coming from mainland, and they don't have any illusion. Yeah, and one thing I must say, I feel happy that when I stress that, I hope, I say, both Taiwan government should always remember culturally Taiwan is Chinese. Yeah, so they should promote the traditional Chinese culture. In the same time, make a clear cut with the communist mainland. Yeah, communism is not Chinese. Yeah, so. And basically, we have a consensus there, and which I think I'm very happy for that, because I think this is a real good future for Taiwan if they can promote the traditional Chinese culture in the same time fighting the aggressive and evil communism from mainland. So this is a kind of historical mission Taiwan got. So anyway, that was a very interesting meeting. And then we continue our trip to Poland. As I mentioned before, was because of attending a wedding party, but I also took the chance to meet different friends, and both in business community and political community, and I got the impression that these two countries, Germany and Poland, they are very much European country, even if they have one is Poland, a former communist country, and Berlin is interesting because half of Berlin was communist before, and half of them was not. Yeah, but now it's combined. So it's really this trip. I go through three types of Europe. First I was in the Western Germany, so to say, a region that has never been ruled by a communist party, and then come to East Berlin, both West and East. But in the East Berlin, it was an area that was ruled by a communist party, or 50-50, right, Berlin. And then come to Poland, which was, for 30 years ago, totally communistic. So it's really interesting, and I have many friends in Poland. Yeah. As I mentioned in a very early episode, as a young engineer, I came to Poland already, and have met many friends, and I have experienced terrible atrocity from the Communist Party at that time in the 70s. Yeah. For example, an elderly man, I think in the year of maybe around 60-something, 60 plus, yeah, who used to look after me for my daily well-being in Poland at that time, and he was beaten by police, yeah, because he has maybe drinking a little bit more than normal, and so he make an argument with a policeman in the street. Yeah, he did not obey. The police told him to stop singing, and he kept singing, and then he was beaten. And then later, when I visited him in the hospital, officially on the medical journal, it was noted he fell down by himself and hit his eye on the sidewalk. So that was the old Poland. Now, 30 years later, I could see that in Poland a lot has changed materialistically. A lot of things, new buildings, new road, new motorway. While also the mentality has changed a lot, mainly to the better, to the positive. But there is still some old things from communist time left. So because of my Chinese origin, so very often our talk with Polish people came into the topic of China. And, the Polish politics, when it comes to their Chinese policy or China policy, then you can say that they are trying, they were trying very much to have the combination for the national security of Poland. They keep friend with U.S., and want to be really allied of U.S. Yeah, but then in the same time they thought they could, make a lot of money by going in bed with CCP, with Chinese Communist party. So that was Poland. But this time, and because I have been in Poland many times, I could see things are changing. I recall that I made a speech at the Polish Parliament, I think 2007 or 2008, something like that. And compared to that time, now I could see that it is changing again. Nowadays, more and more people start to see that going in bed with CCP is not always that profitable as they thought before. So I also met people who are now working on the 5G in Poland. 5G, the question of 5G can usually very, very comfortably used as a kind of criteria about how a government attitude is toward CCP. And Poland is now, so to say, turning more and more to the idea of keeping Huawei out from Poland. But Huawei is doing their best in staying in Poland. And the problem is, interesting is, in many European countries who were formerly communistic, corruption is much more widely spread. And Huawei's strength is they have no limit in bribing. Yeah? So this is how they try to work. So in a way, I really see 5G become a battlefield between the good and the evil. Yeah? Are you ready to betray your own soul because of money, or are you firm in your principle for your value of freedom, human rights, rule by law, and democracy? And you can stay away from your money. So many Polish politicians and business people are on that test bench. But I have the feeling this time that they are changing more and more to this long-term universal value is more important than the short-term profit. But of course, there are still a few people who look for the profit only. So we will see. I'm still optimistic, and thank you for listening today, and see you again next time. And if you like the whole thing, don't forget to subscribe and click like. And so, see you again. Bye-bye.